This is TJ with TechMadeEZ. Welcome to my channel. My channel is all about making things affordable, practical, and easy. What we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about options to Microsoft Office. Now, all of these options are free. Now, there are paid versions of them, but they're pretty robust for being free. My wife and I use two different ones. We've never found a reason to upgrade to the paid one, but that's up to you. The paid ones offer like more templates for PowerPoint, for Word, for Excel, and other options, but they're pretty robust, and you may never have to have those options, and you may never need those paid options that are available to you if you want to pay for them. But the whole purpose of this is to get away from subscription software. And my wife ended up getting a subscription to Microsoft Office because of this one spreadsheet that she uses. It's so complicated, all the formulas in it, all the 3D spreadsheets that allows all these calculations to happen that you have to put into the spreadsheet to evaluate some commercial property. And so, so when my wife was going to go to Linux, the challenge was, how do I get her off of Microsoft Office Suite? And I found the solution for her. Now, the solution for her is not the same solution for me. And that's the whole purpose of this. I'm not going to go into these Office suites in detail. I'm just going to present them to you. And everything is personal. One of these suites might meet your personal needs are better than my needs or my wife's needs. Or maybe the one that I've settled on will meet your needs. And that's the whole thing, is I found an Office suite that I didn't even know existed until a few months ago. And I've settled on it, and I really like it. Now, I'm a basic user of an Office suite. I do basic word processing, basic spreadsheets. Very rarely do I do presentation software. When I do, it's simple, so on and so forth. So, but let's go ahead, let's take a dive into these. Let's see which Office suite met the criteria. I did find one that's 100% compatible with that spreadsheet. And so I'll go over which one my wife is using, which one I'm using. Everything has its pros and cons in life, including Office suites and these free Office suites. But let's get started. Okay, so here I am at my Linux desktop. The reason why I was interested in the free Microsoft applications is I was trying to decide to go to Linux years ago, and now my wife is using Linux. And with my wife using Linux, that even made it a little bit more challenging, like I mentioned, because we needed to find one of these Microsoft Office suites that was compatible with this really super complicated 3D spreadsheet that has lots of 3D spreadsheets and formulas going through it. Let's talk about the obvious ones. The first obvious one is Google Docs. Everybody knows about Google Docs. It has its functionality, so on and so forth. Problem is, it's never on your system. They're always up in the cloud. You have to download it, so on and so forth, but it serves its purpose. Most of my kids use Google Docs. Obviously, a spreadsheet. My wife uses Google Sheets because she does a lot of spreadsheet work that she wants available online all the time and collaborates. But the complicated one that she uses is not online. That one's on her personal desktop, and we'll go over that, and I'll tell you which one of these applications was 100% compatible with that spreadsheet. So then, of course, we have their presentation software, slides. And this is one that my daughter did years ago for school. And if you'll notice in the middle here, that's a redwood tree that my family stretched across. So, but let's just talk about LibreOffice. LibreOffice is well known in the Linux community. And when I first was thinking about going to Linux, LibreOffice is the one that I downloaded and started using right away on Windows, so that I had something that was compatible. So I went to Linux, and it's very robust. A lot of Linux users use it, but some of the interface stuff bugs me, and it's not that it doesn't work for me, it does, but yeah, anyway, so I tried OnlyOffice, and my wife tried OnlyOffice as well before she went to Linux, and the spreadsheet didn't work like Excel, and it was hard for her to do a lot of the formulas and everything that she needed to do, and so OnlyOffice was not an option for her. She was using LibreOffice for a long time on Windows until she got the application, until she had to start using this complicated spreadsheet with the complicated formulas and 3D spreadsheets running through it. Then we had to figure out something else for her, so she started paying for Microsoft Office so that she could use that spreadsheet. So we had to figure out which one of these suites was most compatible with that spreadsheet. And I'll let you know which one that is, and I'll let you know which one of these suites that is my favorite now. And in fact, let's go to FreeOffice for a minute here. FreeOffice here looks a lot like Microsoft Office Suite. It's great. Again, it's free. It's for the Mac, Windows, and Linux. And again, we're going to go over these interfaces here in a minute. One of the other ones is Apache OpenOffice, and again, it has a Windows, Mac, and Linux option. The only problem that I have with this one here on the Linux side is that a lot of Linux distros come with LibreOffice pre-installed, and they suggest that you remove LibreOffice from your Linux system, and I think it's because I think the LibreOffice and this OpenOffice, they're a derivative of both. I don't know which one came first, but I think they use the engine for both of them, and so it will conflict if you have LibreOffice on there. At any rate, they recommend that you remove LibreOffice, and on top of that, it's a command line install, where the other ones you can install through the GUI or the command line. For Linux, that is. For Windows, it's not a problem. You just download the .exe file and install it. Same with Mac. You download their install file and you install it. For Linux, you do have to use the command line to install it. To remove, well, you have to use the command line to remove LibreOffice, and you have to use the command line to install OpenOffice. So OpenOffice is really my least favorite of these on the Linux side. So then, if you're just into spreadsheets, you don't need a presentation package. This one right here, this GNumeric, is really a powerful spreadsheet. Now, we tried this one with that complicated spreadsheet, and it gave us the least amount of errors. It only came up with one error when we loaded it up. Then what we have here is we have AbiWord. AbiWord is like WordPad, so if you just need a basic word processor, and again, this GNumeric and AbiWord, they're only available on Linux, as far as I know. And so this is basically like WordPad. It looks like it does more than WordPad, but if you just need a simple document writing program, Microsoft compatible, and I'm not sure how compatible it is when the document gets really complicated, a simple letter, so on and so forth, this one works great as an option. Most of these are found in the Linux Store app or the Linux Software Manager, but you can install them from the command line as well. So really quick, let's look at the interfaces to all of these programs. Now, obviously we don't have to look at Google Docs and Google Sheets for the presentation software because it's all web-based. So now let's go ahead and look at LibreOffice for a minute. So LibreWrite, simple word processor, does a lot. You can see the icons here. And it looks like that they've changed their icons interface here a little bit from the last time I used it. Like I said, I haven't used LibreOffice for a while now. But there's the word processor. Here's the spreadsheet. Again, I used to use the spreadsheet here. And then here's the presentation software. And again, it comes with templates that you can load. Now, just so you know that all of these compatible offices, you can import templates from Microsoft PowerPoint. So that is not an issue if you need some of those templates. Okay, so now let's take a look at OnlyOffice. Here's the word processor. It's actually very clean, very nice. I actually like OnlyOffice's interface. Here's the spreadsheet. Here's their presentation package. And again, you can go to design. You can go to design and you can choose one of these templates here, and you create a new slide, and so on and so forth. And you can choose what slide type it's going to be. And this is how all of them work. I mean, they all have a limited amount. They come with a limited amount of templates, but again, you can import templates in. And so, but what it was is the spreadsheet. I don't chart very often, but when I do, I got used to LibreOffice charting. It just seemed harder for me to make a chart in OnlyOffice. So there's really only two of these office suites that met my criteria for charting. LibreOffice is one of them, and then the other one that I'm going to show here next is the other one. Now, my wife had a problem with the spreadsheet. It just didn't work the way the formulas work, everything like that, and how you highlight cells and everything, because she lives on a spreadsheet. She does a lot of spreadsheet stuff, so spreadsheet is so important to her. It just didn't function like Microsoft Excel. So OnlyOffice was not an option for her. So the next one I'm going to come up with, and this is one I just found a couple of months ago, is FreeOffice. I did not know FreeOffice existed out there. And the word processor is called TextMaker, and that's the whole thing. All these different Office suites have different names for their word processor, so on and so forth. But I like the interface of this one. I like the spreadsheet. Now you'll notice that this is in dark mode. That's because when you first load up FreeOffice, it will ask you what interface do you want, and they have a dark interface as an option. Let me change that back. And so you can change your interface to some of those settings, so on and so forth. Also too, when you go to save a document, it will come up with this. Which one do you want to use? Do you want Microsoft Office to be your default, or do you want to use their proprietary formatting? So obviously I just do Microsoft Office, because all of these Office programs have their own formatting, their own proprietary formatting, but you can go ahead and set the default to Microsoft Office. So I would just set this to Excel, hit OK, save it, and then that's what it'd be. So, but if we go back into here, it's going to have their default. It's going to be PlaneMaker right here. This is their default. When you're in LibreOffice, you can go to Tools here, and you can go to Options. And LibreOffice has the same thing. You just go in here and you just choose, okay, I want this to be Word 2010 365, and then you just hit Save, hit OK, and now anytime you open up a Microsoft document, whether it's Excel, Word, the presentation software, then it'll open it up, save it as that, as Microsoft, or if you create a new document, new spreadsheet, it'll save it as Microsoft. So that's how you make that the default. And now WP Office, I think the default is just Microsoft Office compatible. So now let's look at this GNumeric. And I'm not even sure if that's how you say it. That's just how I say it, because it's numeric with the G. Anyway, GNumeric. Now this one is supposed to be really robust formula-wise. This one here, again, when we opened up that complicated spreadsheet, we only got one error. So it's a very capable spreadsheet for formulas. I wasn't in love with the charting on this one, so I don't use this one, but this is an option. You know, maybe spreadsheet is a thing that you use and you don't want a whole Office suite. Again, that's why I put this one on here, and that's why I put this AbiWord on here too. It's just a simple word processor. So now really quick, let's go to OpenOffice really quick and take a look at it. Okay, so here's the word processor in OpenOffice, and again, you got your little icons up here. It's going to probably remind you of if you're old enough to remember Word 2000, so on and so forth. And again, now I'm running this in a Windows VM because I didn't want to install it on my Linux desktop, and because that means I would have to remove LibreOffice to do it. Would have made it hard for this presentation, so I just installed it into Windows. Again, it's just an exe install file, but here's the word processor, and here's the spreadsheet, and then here's the presentation software. So again, these are all your options. There's plenty of options out there for you. Okay, so I'm back here on FreeOffice on the word processor. And the reason why I'm here is because one of the issues that you may run into, this is what my wife's issue was. She did not, so she uses WPS Office for that complicated spreadsheet. Again, she uses Google Sheets as well. But as far as the word processor goes, she did not like the word processor in WPS. And unfortunately, I don't remember why. She doesn't remember why either, because I went and asked her, and it's been long enough she couldn't remember. And so we went ahead and installed FreeOffice on there, and so she uses the word processor from FreeOffice and the spreadsheet from WPS Office, and there are just icons sitting on her toolbar, so she doesn't have to go into the menu, go through and figure out which one she needs to use. I know that might be a little convoluted, but they are free. Now, when I say these applications are free, they do have paid versions. The paid versions give you more templates and other stuff. I don't know what all the other stuff is. You have to go on the website. I have not ran into anything that I need a paid version for. My wife hasn't ran into any need to have the paid versions as well, and so on and so forth. So now she uses WP Office spreadsheet, and she uses FreeOffice word processor. She doesn't do a lot of presentation stuff. If she did, she'd probably use Google Slides to make one up anyway, so that's irrelevant. But unfortunately, when you're going to use this kind of stuff, it's not always going to meet, one Office suite may not meet all of your needs. You may have to use more than one. If you don't want to do that, then you may want to stick with Microsoft. But the thing is, they are free. And hard drive space today, hard drives are big today, so it's not that big a deal for me to install two Office suites and use an app from one and an app from the other. Now, me personally, I just use FreeOffice only. It meets my needs 100%. I don't have to use that complicated spreadsheet that my wife uses. Spreadsheet stuff I do is very simple spreadsheet. Again, that's a pro and con to the free Office stuff. The other thing is too, I think both WPS Office and FreeOffice are Chinese-based programs. If that bothers you, then you may not want to use them. I looked it up. When I looked up both of these, they didn't say that there's anything nefarious using these, even though they're China-based, so on and so forth. Now, I will say this much: FreeOffice is free, but after you open it up a couple of times, it's gonna ask you, do you want to use the paid version? You don't have to say yes, but if you're going to continue to use it for free, they do ask for your email, and that may bother some people. It doesn't bother me because I don't really care. I just like this one. They can have my email. What they do with it, I don't know. And maybe I shouldn't feel that way because I know a lot of Linux people are privacy. I don't know what they do with the email, but I like it. So you put in your email, and then it emails you a code, and that code allows you to use it for free. One thing I will say that I forgot to talk about with LibreOffice. LibreOffice does have LibreDraw. LibreDraw allows you to edit PDFs. You can edit the text. You can move pictures around, insert a picture, so on and so forth. It's one of the better options for PDF editing on Linux. Now, that being said, WPS Office has in their paid version, with their paid version, you can edit PDFs. I believe with OnlyOffice, you might have a paid version as well for PDFs. It does have a PDF option. You can do minor highlights and editing like that, but you can't edit text, insert a picture with OnlyOffice. But the paid version, I think that opens that up so you can do that. So I think OnlyOffice has a paid version as well, but WP Office for sure has a paid version that allows you to take advantage of editing PDFs. I don't think that's an option with FreeOffice. So if for some reason, very rare, that I have to edit text on a PDF and a picture, I will use LibreDraw. So on my personal system, you can install LibreDraw only in Linux without installing the whole Office suite. Okay, this is really important too. For whatever reason, FreeOffice comes with Microsoft fonts, but they're only available in FreeOffice. They're not available in the other applications. So if you're using those other applications, you'll need to install the Microsoft fonts, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to install the Microsoft fonts in Linux. It's really simple, easy to do, so let's go ahead and install those. Okay, so there's just a few more things that I got to talk about here. One is a couple of these Office suites do offer online as well, just like Google Docs, and I believe that is OnlyOffice and WPS Office. They do have options for it to be online as well, where you can share your documents and spreadsheets online, and edit them online and store them online. Now, the other thing is how do we get these downloaded and installed? With OnlyOffice, you go in on the main page, there's this download option here. Just hit download LibreOffice, it'll take you right here. And then here you're going to have RPM, Deb, Mac, Windows, so on and so forth. And now OnlyOffice, you go here and you'll notice Windows, Mac, Linux, and here they are right here, your different Windows flavors. You've got your Mac, and then you've got Linux here. Now, when it comes to LibreOffice, I should back up there. Again, LibreOffice itself comes with a lot of Linux distros, and if it isn't there, you can usually install LibreOffice from the repository, from your or from your distro's software manager, from the GUI. Both of these are easy to install. OnlyOffice is the same way. You can usually install OnlyOffice through your Linux software manager or through the repository, and so on and so forth. And in Linux, it's got several different options. One of them is Flatpak, so on. Now it does have server options as well, and that's where these are at. And I will leave links to all of these pages as well, and so on and so forth. And then when it comes to FreeOffice, you have your Windows, Mac, and Linux here. And as far as I know, on the Debian side, it's not in the software store. but you can download this deb package, which I did, and then I just installed it through the Linux GUI that way, or you could do it through the command line, one or the other. And obviously the Windows and Mac are here as well. Apache, I'm not too keen on Apache just because it's command driven to install it. It's not that big a deal, but you do have to remove OnlyOffice, or not OnlyOffice, but LibreOffice to install it. Now the Windows one obviously is easy because it's just executable. It's only a 32-bit, but it works, installs. You have the Mac versions there, so on and so forth. And then this GNumeric, I just installed this from my Linux repository through the software GUI manager. It was there, you know, and I'm not sure how you install it from the command line, but it should. I'm assuming it's going to be in most people's repositories. Now, AbiWord is a little different. It makes it look like there is a Windows, but I think they used to have a Windows version of it, but they stopped supporting it. But they do have a Mac version here as well. And again, AbiWord, it was just in my software repository, and I actually installed it through a Linux Mint software manager. Okay, so that's where you'd go to download anything you need to download. Again, some of these offices do offer internet suites as well. You can operate them off on the internet, so on and so forth. Okay, so now we're going to install Microsoft Fonts. This is going to be really quick, and all these commands will be in the description below, so we just type that in, put your password in, and we're off and running. We hit yes. It'll take a minute to install those. It's going to come up with this here, and then just tab over to the OK. You got to make sure you hit OK here, and you hit yes here, don't hit no, and then it'll finish the install, and then you will have the Microsoft Fonts. Okay, after that installs, we're just going to put in this command and refresh the cache for the fonts, and we're done. That's all there is to it. So I hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Now that was easy.